UFC 284 is in the books. Islam Makhachev still the champion. Alexander the Great Volkanovski gave him a tough fight. बहुत tough match हुआ and super pumped for this fight. बहुत ही interesting fight थी and can't wait to discuss this plus the whole 284 card. Amazing right from the start till the bottom. The
Mm-hmm.
whole card, main event, pay-per-view, early prelims, बहुत मजा आया. पूरा event देखने में बहुत मजा आया. It's all great. We are going to talk about this and as always मेरे साथ है मेरे दोस्त and co-host Donny Bones, short hair and lanky fellow, columnist at One Dojo, and let's begin UFC 284, the main event. Donny, go ahead, man.
Man, this is the thing that we wake up for, right? Every morning at 8:30, especially on a Sunday. And
4:30 for
I'm so
me. 4:30
you
for
woke up at
me.
4:30.
Shane Young.
I didn't watch the prelims. I have yet to watch the prelims.
Although
I'm
so
telling you the truth.
disappointed, Shane Young lost. Lekin
Yeah.
coming back to main event, Volkanovski is still the
Number one.
Volkanovski,
Number
I
one.
believe, still is the pound for pound number one, and
Yep.
Islam, the lightweight king, as defending his throne, and
Mm,
super amazing fight, back and forth,
mm,
knockdown देखने को मिले इस्लाम मखाचेव की तरफ से,
mm,
अलेक्जेंडर वोल्कानोव्स्की की तरफ से, थोड़ा सा पावर का डिफरेंस हमें देखने को मिला,
mm.
लेकिन
Yeah.
गेम वाज स्पॉट ऑन
Yeah. Yeah.
गेम. द मैच जितनी प्रिपरेशन थी, आई थिंक दैट वाज worth
Yep.
this fight.
Yeah. It
Donny,
was. It was. It was, man. This card, right? The card, the main event, the main. I mean, the main card was good right from the get go. And you're right about about the Volk's preparations and all. He was his wrestling defense was on point, and even even the clinch also. I mean, everybody gets overpowered by Makachev, right? But Volk today showed why. He was ready. He had the skills, he had the tools, and he did his due preparation for that particular fight, and he did really well. And I feel like for Islam as well, he did really well with the striking because both him and Volk, they landed some really significant strikes and they knocked each other down as well. So yeah, I at the end of the day, I didn't mind who won or lose, but yeah, but the judges, they fucked up again on the scoreline. I mean, yeah, I understand. Like, Islam was the guy who had much better ground control. He controlled the fight on the ground for almost like 7 minutes or something like that, while Volk got some around 2 minutes. But you know, I believe that was the main factor, the ground control that made the judges decide that Islam should be the winner of the bout. But yeah, the fight was so good. It was so good. Both guys came prepared, and yeah, Volk was right. He was right. He could have like capitalized on certain things more. Even I felt like that. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was a fair result. I can't really complain much about it. And yeah, I hope that there's gonna be another. I mean, there's gonna be a Makachev versus Volk part two. That fight is gonna be much more interesting. But you can see how both fighters have developed. Volk has developed his grappling and his ground game so well. I mean, so much. And so has Makachev. He's improved his striking so much. They stood on the ground. I mean, they stood on the feet. They exchanged strikes and all. Ah, man, I'm so happy to have watched this fight. I woke up today at 7:30, got ready, fresh shower, had my breakfast and tea and all that. And wow, was I glad that I woke up. I'm glad that I slept early also last night. No party, sharty, nothing. I was telling myself, I need to watch tomorrow's fight fresh. It's so worth it, man. So worth it. The whole
but अगर fight की बात करें तो I think the first three rounds they were super close
yeah,
rounds, first three rounds,
exactly.
and I think fourth round थोड़ा बहुत I think Islam के लिए uh, it shifted towards Islam, and fifth round
Yeah,
was completely Volkanovski.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that means the पहले three rounds को जिस हिसाब से भी आप स्कोर करो, मैच उस तरफ को चला जाता है. That is the
yeah,
reason
yeah.
48-47, 48-47, 49-46.
Mm. And even if you check out the stats, I watched a little bit of the post fight Sumish Kamra and who was it?
Hmm.
Who was the other guy? I didn't. I just saw a little bit.
Arjun Chipalkatti.
Yeah, Arjun Chips. Yeah. So yeah, I watched a bit of that. I could see like even the strikes also they were almost like they almost same like the rate is almost 50-50%. But the difference with it was the ground control and the takedown attempts because I believe Islam got like six six takedowns.
4 takedowns out of 7.
Was it four? Okay, fine. But then again, like Volk defended like almost I mean as many of them as he could. It was really good, man. I'm just disappointed by the judging. I mean, 49-46. That guy is fucking crazy, bro. Whoever that judge was is a fucking crazy motherfucker. Seriously, what was he watching?
लेकिन 4 takedown defend करना, sorry, 5 takedown defend करना against
Yeah,
Islam
yeah.
Makhachev, the
Mm,
greatest, one of the greatest grapplers
grapplers
uh, lightweight division right
in
now,
MMA.
one of the best.
Yeah.
And I think throughout the history of lightweight division, him, Habib, one of the best grapplers, number one, number two, आप
Mm,
easily बोल सकते हैं उनको.
yeah. Especially in the
और
lightweight
उनके
division.
स्पेशली इन लाइट वेट
Yeah.
डिवीजन मैन, एंड उसके बावजूद ये टेक डाउन डिफेंड करना, दैट वाज सुपर अमेजिंग. प्लस अपने
Mm,
स्ट्राइक्स लगाना, इतने बढ़िया स्ट्राइकिंग कॉम्बिनेशंस लगाना, दैट
yeah.
वाज द मुझे बहुत मजा आया. एंड आई थिंक थोड़ा बहुत बायस्ड डिसीजन मेरा है कि इसमें वोल्कानोस्की को जीतना चाहिए था, लेकिन हालांकि इस्लाम हैज वन, props to him, and
Mm,
I
yeah.
completely find him a worthy winner. लेकिन
Yeah. Yeah.
बीइंग अ शॉर्टर गाय, बीइंग एक
Yeah.
छोटी वेट डिवीजन से ऊपर आना,
Mm,
दैट वाज
mm,
ये मुझे बहुत बहुत ज्यादा वो लगा, बहुत ज्यादा अपील किया मुझे. एंड फोर्थ राउंड में
mm,
फोर्थ राउंड में सबने माकाचेव को दिया ऑफर, लेकिन फोर्थ राउंड में उन्होंने कुछ किया नहीं. आप खुद देखें उस फाइट
mm.
को,
Yeah.
गो बैक एंड वॉच द फाइट अगेन.
Yeah. Yeah.
चौथे
Yeah.
राउंड में इस्लाम माकाचेव ने क्या किया? ही जस्ट टुक
Mm,
हिम डाउन, ही जस्ट टुक हिम डाउन, एंड
yeah.
पूरे
Secured
राउंड
the
में ये
bag.
था बस.
He
सिक्योर द
just
बैक, दैट्स
secured the
इट.
bag. But like,
एंड इवन
yeah. I mean, what? Go on. Go on.
Volkanovski was uh, uh, some trash talk from the front. So I
Yeah.
this is the reason why I do not like wrestlers like grapplers like Khabib, sorry, wrestlers like Islam, because वो कुछ नहीं करते हैं. They'll just take you down. वो वहीं पड़े रहेंगे वो 5 मिनट तक. And I think Mark Goddard should have done something, क्योंकि Mark Goddard वैसे
Nah,
तो
he
कोलबी
shouldn't have.
कविंगटन के लिए तो मार्क
Okay, go
गॉडर्ट
on.
इज
Go
अ
on.
वेरी गुड रेफरी, लेकिन यहाँ पे उन्हें कुछ करना चाहिए था मेरे हिसाब से, बिकॉज दिस इज समथिंग दैट पूरे राउंड में कुछ किया ही नहीं उन्होंने 4 राउंड में. एंड वर्स्ट पार्ट फॉर अलेक्जेंडर वोल्कानोव्स्की, फैंस के सामने थे वो, अब वो मूव भी नहीं कर सकते हैं.
Mm,
वर्स्ट पार्ट ये था इस पूरे तो मजा नहीं आया फोर्थ राउंड में. लेकिन फिफ्थ राउंड was all we wanted. Fifth round was all we wanted, and not only me, I think 99% of the
mm,
people wanted fifth round like this.
mm.
पूरी फाइट इसी तरह होनी चाहिए थी, लेकिन
I'll, te-
it's an MMA fight, yeah. It's not a stand-up game only.
I'll tell I'll tell you the reason why, okay, why Mark Goddard wasn't doing anything. Because he could see that despite Islam controlling the bag and trying to get the sub attempts, Volk was actually fighting, he was defending, he was trying to land his own shots, even though Makachev had his back. And that constant hand fighting when Islam was trying to get a submission, there was still activity. So that is the reason why Mark Goddard didn't really want to interfere because okay, Islam had the bag, he had the bag secured, but he like and he was trying to pose a threat, but Volk was actually trying to nullify whatever threat that Makachev was trying to whatever threat Makachev was posing. So and yeah, okay, fine. He had sunk in the hooks, like he held on to the belly with his knees and his legs. But yeah, apart from that, you know there was still action going on. So yeah, I mean, to some people that might be boring, and you might feel that okay, the ref should have intervened. But I believe like it was fair of Mark Goddard that he didn't intervene. I mean, that is my opinion. I don't know if you agree with
Cool,
me.
cool. लेकिन एक मेन इवेंट, वर्दी मेन इवेंट हमने देखा, एंड
Of course.
we all loved it. We all loved it. बहुत मजा
Yeah.
आया। आई थिंक यही फाइट थी जो लाइट वेट डिवीजन मिसिंग थी। लाइट वेट डिवीजन में जनरली
Mm,
वन साइडेड डोमिनेशंस हो रहे थे। चार्ल्स
mm,
ओलिवेरा, उससे पहले हबीब, इस्लाम ने
mm.
पिछले फाइट में किया। एंड आई थिंक ये फाइट बहुत टाइम के बाद एक अच्छा लाइट वेट कॉन्टेस्ट देखने को मिला हमें। एंड
Yeah.
आई थिंक द लास्ट लाइट वेट फाइट जो मैंने इतनी बढ़िया देखी थी वो वाज बैक इन 2019, जब हमने डस्टिन पोरियर और मैक्स हॉलोवे की फाइट देखी थी। दैट
Mm,
वाज वन दैट आई कैन काउंट ऑन माय
yeah.
हैंड्स। जो उसके बाद से सारी हबीब की फाइट्स हुई हैं, चार्ल्स ओलिवेरा की
Mm.
फाइट हुई है, एंड देन
Just to give my closing statement, like, okay, Volk lost, but did you see how respectful he was, man? He's a top man. You know, he's a top guy. That Volkanovski is really great. You know, he's not just a great fighter, but he's a great human being as well, man. You could see how he was, giving props to Islam, and he was even requesting the fans to be respectful like that, towards the guy. And he's a I mean, the guy has been a sportsman throughout his life, and he showed us why he was not even bitter at all. It was so good to see that. I mean, see that thing. I mean, I know, like, I've seen Volk. He's always been a jolly. He's always been a good guy. But this is one of the most difficult losses for him, I believe, because it was very very close, that fight. It could have gone either way. But yeah, Volk
वेल
still.
सेड। पाउंड फॉर पाउंड नंबर वन फाइटर अलेक्जेंडर वोल्कानोस्की। यही रीजन है पूरे फैंस की नजरों में वो ही विल
Yeah.
स्टिल बी द पाउंड फॉर पाउंड नंबर वन चैंपियन।
If anybody, I think if the UFC uh, puts on a poll and asks who is to ask us fans to vote who is the number one, I mean, pound for pound number one, I believe Volk will win, man. He's still, I mean, in my heart, in my mind, he's still the most complete fighter in the world and the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. That's it.
एंड
All right, so now
विद
let's
दैट
speak about.
विद दैट इस कार्ड में आगे बढ़ते हैं। और आगे हमारे पास फाइट थी फॉर द यूएफसी फेदरवेट इंटरिम चैंपियनशिप, जिसमें
Mm,
जॉश एमेट और एल पेंटेरा याई रोड्रिगेज फाइट कर रहे थे। मेक्सिको वर्सेस यूएसए। एंड फाइट के डिसीजन एक वन साइडेड फाइट ऑलमोस्ट हमें देखने को मिली,
yeah.
जिसमें एल पेंटेरा याइर रोड्रिगेज नए
Mm,
इंटरिम चैंपियन बन चुके हैं फेदरवेट डिवीजन में। एंड बहुत ही एक तरफा फाइट थी इसके।
mm,
दैट्स हाउ वी कैन सम इट अप। जॉश एमेट,
mm,
प्रॉप्स टू यू फॉर बीइंग सो टफ, फॉर हैंगिंग इन सो लेट अप टिल देयर। लेकिन एल पेंटेरा, नो मैच
yeah.
फॉर एल पेंटेरा।
Just too good, man. Just so good. Even when he was taken down, also, he was so active on the ground, despite being on his back. He was still landing those elbows and those
विशियस।
punches and all. And then fight, and like, Josh really didn't have any proper control despite being able to take him down. But El Pantera, he was on the offensive right from the get go. Those
फ्रॉम द गेट
legs,
गो।
those knees, those punches, those combos, and damn, he was using each and every part of his body everywhere, anywhere. He was like maximizing, he was like putting on his weapons to full use. And he secured that guillotine choke. And yeah, that's it. As soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, fine, this fight is done. I feel sad for Josh Emmett. He's done so much. He's worked a lot to get to this position, and damn, he got outperformed, man. At the end of the day, Yair, he was just too good.
मैन फील थोड़ा सा बुरा मुझे लग रहा है जॉश हेमेट के लिए, बिकॉज एक
Yeah, of course.
5 फाइट विन स्ट्रीक पर थे।
Mm,
38 साल के होने वाले हैं मार्च
yeah.
4th और 5th को, आई थिंक।
Mm,
एंड एक अगर इंटरिम चैंपियनशिप जीत जाते तो ही कुड हैव हैड पे पर व्यू
yeah.
पॉइंट्स प्लस ए चैंपियनशिप गोइंग इनटू
Mm,
अ फाइट विद वोल्कानोव्स्की।
yeah.
So
I know.
the world would have been an oyster for him. But
Yeah.
now it's the polar opposite. The poor guy has to go back to
Yeah.
his corner and hopefully reshuffle. And
Yeah.
I I won't say that's the end of Josh Emmett that we have seen,
Mm,
but still एक वर्दी
yeah.
फाइटर अगर बात करें हम एल पेंटारा की,
Mm,
मैन 100 प्लस सिग्निफिकेंट स्ट्राइक्स और वहीं पे जॉश एमेट की 52। जॉश एमेट ने
yeah.
हालांकि बीच में दो बढ़िया पंचेस लगाए जो थोड़े हर्ट
Mm,
किए एल
yeah.
पेंटारा को, लेकिन
Yeah.
throughout the fight with the leg kicks, with the
Yeah.
knees, with the elbows,
He was relentless,
hands,
man.
boxing, man। और एक टेक डाउन अटेम्प्ट किया जॉश एमेट ने, और उसी में लिया सबमिशन।
exactly.
यायर रोड्रिगेज ने. So it was complete shutout रहा
Yeah,
from Alpantera, यायर रोड्रिगेज, and now उनके पास एक अपॉर्चुनिटी है फेदरवेट डिवीजन में
yeah,
टाइटल फाइट के लिए अगेंस्ट अलेक्जेंडर वोल्कानोव्स्की.
yeah. I know, and
क्या
that
लगते हैं
is
आपको इस फाइट के चांसेस?
what do I think. Yair has good chances, but in all honesty, Volk is a much more complete fighter than Yair. Cut off your mic.
क्या?
Cut off your.
Did you hear something?
No, I didn't hear anything.
I muted myself. I was saying
Why?
something to my mom. I muted myself. Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, this is what I'm saying.
थोड़ा सा
Volk
पीछे हो
is a,
जाओ,
I
बहुत आगे आ गए हो आप. थोड़ा सा पीछे हो जाओ, बहुत आगे आ
okay.
गए. हाँ.
Okay. So as good and as skillful as Yair is, man, Volk is a much more complete fighter than him, and yeah, it's this fight is gonna be crazy, bro. But my I'm leaning more towards Volk just because of who he is, and yeah, okay, we saw today a bit of Yair's grappling prowess, but man, to beat the Volk is gonna be very very difficult.
अगर आपने रेसलिंग प्रोवेस की बात की, तो अलेक्जेंडर वोल्कानोव्स्की ने दिखाई अपनी रेसलिंग प्रोवेस आज अगेंस्ट वन ऑफ द बेस्ट,
Yeah,
वन ऑफ द बेस्ट.
I know, man.
बट
Yeah.
यायर रोड्रिगेज, मैन, क्या बोले इनको, नाम ही इनका एल पेंटेरा है.
Okay. I don't know what's Josh Emmett's future gonna look like, in all honesty, because now he's, I think, 35 or 37 years old, something like that, right? He's almost at the twilight of his career, and man, that guy has been in some wars. And today he just got like he got hammered by the hammer, man. El Pantera. That's the meaning of El Pantera, right? The hammer. He got hammered by the hammer, bro. Man, it was. I think this is the year for Mexico. They already have two champions now. One is the flyweight champion, and now the interim featherweight
अप टू
champion.
अलेक्सा ग्रासो नाउ
Yeah, up to Alexa Grasso, but yeah, I
टू
don't like
कंप्लीट
her
द
chances
ट्रायो.
against. I don't like her chances against
ओके, नो
Valentina.
प्रॉब्लम, नो प्रॉब्लम. चलिए, इस फाइट कार्ड में आगे बढ़ते हैं, और आगे हमारे पास फाइट थी रैंडी ब्राउन और पर्थ ऑस्ट्रेलिया के द होम टाउन फेवरेट जैक डेला माडलेना की. एंड एज प्रिडिक्टेड एक फर्स्ट राउंड केओ देखने को मिला हमें. एंड
It
वंस
was not.
अगेन,
It was not a KO. It was a submission, bro.
या
Oh yeah,
सॉरी,
submission.
फर्स्ट राउंड फिनिश हमें देखने को मिला.
Yeah,
एंड रैंडी ब्राउन, फॉर एज लॉन्ग एज इट लास्टेड, वाज अ वर्दी ओपोनेंट. लेकिन
yeah,
जैक
he
डेला
was a worthy
माडलेना,
opponent.
जैक डेला माडलेना फ्यूचर प्रोस्पेक्ट से बहुत आगे बढ़
My
चुके हैं.
God.
वेल्टरवेट डिवीजन,
Yeah,
शफकत रखमनोव के बारे में आपने बहुत सुन लिया, हमजा चिमाएव
yeah,
के आपने बारे में बहुत सुन लिया. इट्स टाइम टू हियर फॉर जैक डेला माडलेना.
yeah,
एंड
yeah.
वन ऑफ द राइजिंग वेल्टरवेट फाइटर्स जो अभी हैं हमारे पास. अमेजिंग
Mm,
स्किल्स, नॉकआउट पावर जो उन्होंने दिखाई, जो नॉकडाउन किया, सिंगल पंच, सिंगल हुक इट
mm,
टुक फॉर एंडी ब्राउन टू
mm-hmm.
गेट नॉक डाउन. और उसके बाद
Yeah.
एक रियर नेकेड चोक सबमिशन, एंड दैट्स
Mm,
ऑल शी रोट. फिनिश,
yeah.
अनदर विक्ट्री इन यूएफसी. 4-0 यूएफसी में है अभी रिकॉर्ड जैक डेला माडलेना का. एंड स्काई इज द लिमिट फॉर दिस गाय. Donny.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Seriously, Jack, he has some serious power in his hands, like you said, and on top of that, his boxing skills, they are so good. But the thing is, I'll tell you, okay, like what I saw in that particular fight. Randy Brown, he was doing good. He was maintaining his distance as well, and he was
Yes.
using his reach. He was using his reach. I mean, as the fight when the fight started,
लेग
for
किक्स
as
के
long
साथ
as it
जो अपना
lasted.
डिस्टेंस मेंटेन कर
Yeah.
रहे थे.
Yeah, he was doing quite well with that, but Jack was very very patient, and he picked his shots and all that, and then finally he landed one particular clean one. I thought that Randy Brown was gonna dance his way out of that, man, because he was showing some moves on his feet as well. So I thought he was gonna do that because it didn't look that big of a shot. Like it landed clean, I know, but it's like, okay, maybe he can do something from this. He can get out of it. But that, I mean, in all honesty, I wouldn't know how that shot feels like. I can only, like, assume, or I can only speculate. But man, that fight ended real quick as soon as that shot landed. So fast. Ground and pound, dang, 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 dang. And then after that, submission, and that was all she wrote.
एंड अभी अगर हम करंटली यूएफसी के रैंकिंग्स अगर हम देखें अभी, तो
Mm,
हमारे पास टॉप 15 में शफकत राखमानोव ऑलरेडी बुक्ड हैं। सॉरी,
mm-hmm,
टॉप 15 वेल्टरवेट डिवीजन का अगर हम देखें, तो आई थिंक एक
mm,
प्रोबेबली एक नील मैग्नी फाइट या एक मिशेल परेरा इज ऑलरेडी फाइटिंग, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग। मिशेल परेरा
yeah,
की फाइट जो थी विद शॉन ब्रेडी, इट हैज बीन कैंसल्ड।
mm-hmm,
सो माइकल परेरा के साथ मजा आ सकता है हमें देखने में। लीजिंग
yeah,
लियांग इज अनदर देयर, विसेंटे
yeah,
लुके। सो
yeah.
दीज फाइटर्स एज सुन एज, और उन्होंने बोला है कि ही इज गोइंग टू बाली इन मार्च, सो प्रोबेबली बाय मई
Mm,
जून ही इज गोइंग टू फाइट नेक्स्ट। और मई में ही फाइट होने वाली है
yeah,
शॉन ब्रेडी और माइकल परेरा की, मिशेल परेरा की। मे बी इस फाइट में
mm,
हमें देख सकते हैं उनको। सो
yeah,
प्रॉप्स टू हिम, व्हाट अ ग्रेट टैलेंट, अनदर ग्रेट टैलेंट
yeah.
कमिंग फ्रॉम ऑस्ट्रेलिया, कमिंग फ्रॉम दैट ऑस्ट्रेलेशिया जोन।
Nah, Jack. I don't know who will the UFC match him up with, but yeah, I feel he deserves some of the names that you took out. They sound really, really good. So, uh, but the one guy whom I feel he should fight is either that Fiallo. What was his
आंड्रे
name?
फियालो,
Yeah, Andre Fiallo, if he's still in the UFC, or yeah, Michel Pereira also sounds like a good name.
लीजिंग
But I don't.
लियांग,
Yeah, Lee is also another good name. And who else doesn't have a fight? Mm, can you give me some names? There's one name.
नील
It's in the tip of my.
नी-
No, no, Neil
नील
Magny is too.
नील मैग्नी
He's
अभी
too.
रिसेंटली फाइट किए। माइकल किएसा
Yeah,
की फाइट अभी होने वाली है रिसेंट,
yeah. Even yeah,
नॉट श्योर।
even Kiesa is
आई
also
थिंक
fighting.
इट्स किएसा वर्सेस राखमनोव, नॉट श्योर। लुके,
Yeah.
शॉन ब्रेडी, जेफ नील, स्टीवन थॉम्सन, देन उससे ऊपर जाने की
No,
जरूरत नहीं है हमको। गिलबर्ट बर्न्स एंड
Rachmanov.
अबव।
Rachmanov has an opponent already, I think.
राखमनोव इज फाइटिंग किएसा आई बिलीव, किएसा या
No, no,
जेफ
no,
नील
no,
आई
no, no.
बिलीव, या
Jeff Neal,
किएसा
Jeff
या
Neal, Jeff Neal.
जेफ नील आई बिलीव।
Yeah. All right, man. Let's move on from this. Let's see. It's gonna be exciting though. Now I believe this is his fourth fight, like first round, first round finish or first round knockout. So I'm sure the UFC is gonna pair him up against another exciting fighter. Those
यस,
UFC matchmakers, they're so damn good, man.
वॉक ऑफ केओ देखने को मिला हमें जस्टिन टाफा और पार्कर पोर्टर की फाइट में। पहले राउंड के पहले मिनट में जस्टिन टाफा ने एक बेहतरीन नॉकआउट किया पार्कर पोर्टर का, एंड विद अ वॉक ऑफ केओ, सिग्नेचर वॉक ऑफ केओ, जस्ट लाइक द सुपर समोवन मार्क हंट। प्राइड दिनों की याद आ गई हमें,
Mm.
जब मार्क हंट एक वॉक ऑफ केओ करते थे। एंड जस्ट लाइक हिम, जस्टिन टाफा एक समोवन है, एक पॉलिनेशियन बैकग्राउंड से आते हैं। अमेजिंग पावर, दैट ब्रूट पावर। एंड आई थिंक एक टेक डाउन के लिए पार्कर पोर्टर जा रहे थे, उसको स्टफ किया। पहले एक राइट हैंड एंड देन पहले एक लेफ्ट हैंड और एक राइट हैंड, एंड दैट्स ऑल शी रोट। एक
Yeah,
नॉकडाउन देखने को मिला हमें, वॉक ऑफ केओ।
I
डॉनी,
can, I can't even say much on that fight because there was really nothing much in it to talk about.
एक
Just
मिनट
that
की
heavy,
फाइट थी बस।
just that heavyweight, the power that heavyweights carry is really crazy, man. And I liked it. He walked off and he did that little dance. I had a good laugh.
जस्ट लाइक बैम बैम टू इवासा, वन ऑफ द फेवरेट।
These guys, these Samoan guys, they are fun to watch, man. They are like exciting fighters. They like all of their fights. It always pleases the crowd. Anybody like when they fight, somebody's gonna get knocked the fuck out. And I was really happy watching that fight. I was like, yes,
एंड द होल
okay,
क्राउड वेंट ऊसी, आई
yeah.
वाज फीलिंग ऊसी।
But you have to give props to that crowd as well. It was wild, man. Especially the
वाइल्ड
main
क्राउड।
event. Wow.
3 साल के
They
बाद ऑस्ट्रेलिया में
Yeah.
इवेंट हो रहा है, so
Mm.
it has to be.
Imagine if that was a stadium, the atmosphere would be absolutely mental. You saw how they reacted to Volkanovski and how they reacted to Islam. My God, and throughout the whole fight, wow, shit, that crowd is crazy. I mean, crowds in US are fine, but when the UFC goes to Europe or to London or to places like Australia and all, I
The
mean,
crowd nuts.
Brazil, the Brazilian crowd sucked last time. They sucked. I don't know why, but they sucked last time.
Well, the reason is आपको 40 पाउंड $40 पे करने पड़ रहे हैं फाइट कार्ड के लिए, जो जनरली ब्राजील में
Yeah, I know.
पॉसिबल नहीं है.
Yeah,
That's why.
yeah,
But amazing Australian talents doing really good up till now. Last fight इस fight card की थी जिमी क्रूट और अलोंजो मैनीफील्ड की, and the only bummer is ड्रॉ हमें देखने को मिला इस फाइट में. अलोंजो मैनीफील्ड और जिमी क्रूट दोनों को डिसीजन मिला, एक स्प्लिट डिसीजन, सॉरी, एक मेजॉरिटी ड्रॉ डिसीजन हमें देखने को मिला. एंड डॉनी, आई थिंक मेरे हिसाब से ये फाइट जिमी क्रूट जीते, बिकॉज द अमाउंट ऑफ टेक डाउन उन्होंने लिया. एंड थर्ड राउंड वाज क्लियर डोमिनेशन बाय जिमी क्रूट. सेकंड राउंड थोड़ा बहुत अब अपहीवल बोल सकते हैं, लेकिन आई थिंक 2 rounds to 1 जिमी क्रूट वन द फाइट विद हिज टेक
yeah.
डाउन्स. जो उनकी स्ट्राइकिंग थी, इट वाज, आई थिंक फर्स्ट राउंड के मिड से इट वाज ऑल अबाउट जिमी क्रूट. फर्स्ट राउंड के मिड से लेकर इट वाज ऑल अबाउट जिमी क्रूट. एंड आई बिलीव सेकंड राउंड भी जिमी क्रूट का ही होना चाहिए था, लेकिन थोड़ा सा सरप्राइजिंग मेरे लिए ड्रॉ देखना रहा. जिमी, डॉनी.
See, see, the thing is, I'm quite satisfied with that draw. Yeah, you have a you. I mean, you have a case when you say that when you say that you feel that Jimmy Cruz should have won that fight, but you should see them on the field. Alonso Menifil was lighting him up, man. Do you see? Did you
यस,
see his
यस.
face?
हाँ.
I'm quite surprised how the hell did Jimmy Cruz survive that. He was about to get knocked the fuck out, but yeah, I give props to him for still standing strong. And I felt like he should have moved his head a little bit more, just to even the footwork also. It looked like, wow, what is wrong with him? Like, okay, maybe that is the way he fights, but yeah, he, his face was an easy target for Alonso. But yeah, he did get his takedowns, but even on the ground also, he wasn't really threatening that much, except for a certain amount of time. But yeah, man, I totally agree with that, bro. And that fight was quite exciting. I loved it. It was a proper fight to start off the main card, and
बिल्कुल एक बैक एंड
those
फोर्थ
guys,
फाइट थी. एक बैक
yeah,
एंड फोर्थ फाइट थी,
they
फ्रॉम क्रूड
delivered.
टू
Yeah,
मैनीफील्ड टू अगेन क्रूड टू
yeah,
मैनीफील्ड.
yeah. And yeah, despite Jimmy getting ground control, both of them they were still fighting on the ground because Alonso was defending all the sub attempts that Jimmy Crude was trying to make, and yeah, on the feet, Menfield was clearly winning the fight. Like it
100%.
doesn't, there's no debate on that. So yeah, I guess the judges, like, I think they did a fair job giving awarding that fight. Making it a draw. So if there's another fight, if they fought again, I wouldn't mind watching that fight. I would enjoy it
एंड
for sure.
एक 1 पॉइंट का डिडक्शन भी हुआ था अलोंजो
Yeah,
मैनीफील्ड का.
exactly. Yeah,
उसके बावजूद ये एक ड्रॉ रहा, सो दैट मींस द होल डिसीजन अलोंजो मैनीफील्ड की तरफ जा रहा था ये,
yeah,
इन ऑल
exactly. That
सर्टेनिटी. एंड
that
आई
is also
आई
how I feel.
आई बिलीव एक क्विक रीमैच हमें देखने को मिलेगा इनका,
Yeah.
बिकॉज ऑफ दैट
And
फेंस ग्रैब. वो
mm,
थोड़ा सा हार्श लगा मुझे, लेकिन स्टिल इट्स
mm,
ओके. इट्स अ
yeah,
रेफरी डिसीजन. रूल्स हैं तो रूल्स में आपको फॉलो करने
and
पड़ेंगे.
I'll tell you one thing. Okay, if that fight happens again, I feel like Jimmy Crute will do a much more better job because he's been back after more than a year of being out of UFC. So he's finished doing his surgery and all, and I hope all of his injuries by the like I hope all his injuries, like, I hope he's recovered. And I think if he fights again, I'm sorry, not if, when he fights again, if there's a rematch of that one, which ended today, I feel like Jimmy Crute is gonna give a much more better performance because you could clearly see he was gassed out. I have Most of Jimmy Crute's fights, they don't last that long, so if that's the case, then it's gonna be a problem in the going ahead forward. I mean, going ahead in the future. But you know, being away from the cage for a very long time also has its effects on you. So yeah, that is it, and I believe that he will do much better when he returns to the octagon. I hope that I'll see him again next year because he's quite an exciting fighter and still very young. So much, so with so much potential and so much room to develop. And he looks like he's a very sound, he has a very sound grappling game as well. He's got the basics unlocked. So yeah, I'm excited to see Jimmy Crute back, man.
Well, that's the whole fight card for you.
Mm,
कितना भी हम बोलें, it was a super amazing fight card. Alex Volkanovski ने दिखा दिया कि he is why he is the pound for pound number one fighter
mm,
in the whole of UFC. And Islam Makhachev, he won the fight, but ठीक है, he's the champion for now. And we got a featherweight champion,
mm.
interim featherweight champion, Yair El Pentara Rodriguez, अलोंसो मैनीफील्ड और जिमी क्रूट एक डिसीजन ड्रॉ में हमें देखने को मिला. बाकी दो क्विक फिनिशेस हमें देखने को मिले फ्रॉम ऑस्ट्रेलिया जोन, जस्टिन टाफा एंड
Jack Della
जैक
Maddalena.
डेला माडलेना. प्रीलिम्स की अगर हम थोड़ी सी बात करें, प्रीलिम्स में टाइसन पेड्रो अगेन
Yeah,
अपनी फाइट हारते हैं.
he lost to Modestus Bukauskas.
मोडेस्टस बुकास्कस ने एक स्प्लिट डिसीजन विक्ट्री उनके अगेंस्ट ली.
Mm,
बात करें अगर इससे पहले जॉश कु- जॉश कुलीबाव और मेल्सिक बगदारशन की फाइट थी. एंड अगर फेस ऑफ आपने इनका देखा होगा तो जॉश कुलीबाव को थोड़ा सा हीटेड हो गया था एंड जॉश कुलीबाव वाज पुश्ड. उनके
mm,
ही वाज शव्ड, गले पे हाथ रख के उन्हें पुश किया गया था उनका ओपोनेंट मेल्सिक बगदारशन की तरफ से. लेकिन इसका पूरा बदला लिया जॉश कुलीबाव ने एंड
yeah.
एक रियर नेकेड चोक सबमिशन विक्ट्री ली जॉश कुलीबाव ने एक लो ब्लो से रिकवर होने के बाद. अगेन मेल्सिक, shame on you, shame on you मेल्सिक. पहले शव एंड देन दैट लो ब्लो. लेकिन एक रियर नेकेड चोक मिली. एंड अर्ली प्रीलिम्स में एक फाइट जिसके लिए मैं इंटरेस्टेड था बहुत ज्यादा, शेन यंग और ब्लेक ब्लाइडर के बीच फाइट थी. अगेन शेन यंग, आई एम रियली सॉरी टू से, शेन यंग ये फाइट हार चुके हैं एंड मे बी एक 4 फाइट स्किड पर हैं शेन यंग नाउ. जुबेरा टुकागोव और एल्विस ब्रेनर की फाइट थी. एक
Yeah,
बहुत ही कंट्रोवर्शियल डिसीजन हमें देखने को मिला.
I know.
ज्यादातर लोग बोल रहे हैं कि एल्विस लॉस्ट द फाइट,
Mm,
लेकिन
yeah,
डिसीजन जजेस का जुबेरा के अगेंस्ट गया एंड जुबेरा ही इज नाउ ऑन अ 2 फाइट लूजिंग स्ट्रीक.
yeah.
वेल दैट्स अ लिटिल सैड. लोमा लुकबॉनमी एलिस रीड के अगेंस्ट जीत की सबमिशन से. तो ये पूरा कुछ हाइलाइटेड फाइटर्स थे प्रीलिम्स में एंड व्हाट एन अमेजिंग कार्ड जो हमें देखने को मिला.
Even Jamie
तो
Malarkey called out Paddy. Do you see that?
जेमी मलारकी ने अपनी फाइट जीतने के बाद पैडी पिम्बलेट को
Mm,
कॉल आउट करा है. लेट्स सी
mm.
क्या होता है. ही इज आई थिंक पैडी पिम्बलेट बहुत टाइम के लिए आउट हैं अभी. लेट्स सी व्हाट हैपेंस नेक्स्ट एंड
I think I think Jamie Malarkey will beat the crap out of Paddy, man. If they
ठीक है
have
भाई. अब
fought.
तो अब हर दूसरा फाइट जब से
My God, I don't even remember the name
जेरेड
anymore.
गॉर्डन जेरेड गॉर्डन
Jared Gordon, yeah, Jared Gordon.
जेरेड गॉर्डन से फाइट होने के बाद पैडी पिम्बलेट का स्टॉक बहुत ही नीचे गिर रहा है. हर दूसरा
Yeah,
फाइटर उन्हें कॉल आउट कर रहा है बिकॉज सब जानते हैं
mm,
कि अगर जेरेड गॉर्डन कर सकते हैं तो हम भी कर सकते
yeah,
हैं एंड हम भी कर सकते हैं तो हमें भी कुछ हाइप मिल सकती है. सो यू
exactly.
नो एक दो धारी
Yeah,
तलवार है ये आपके लिए. लेकिन
yeah.
लेकिन पैडी पिम्बलेट स्टिल अ बिग नेम इन द गेम एंड दैट्स द होल कार्ड
Yeah.
फॉर यू यूएफसी 284.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, and it was such a
एनीथिंग
fun,
कुछ
fun card to
हाइलाइटेड
watch, and I
आप.
believe that. And the only thing that I want to see is that I just witnessed what one of the best fights. I made a comment on Instagram last week. I said this could be one of the best fights that we've ever seen, and wow, man, I was right. I'm happy that I was
Thanks to
right.
both the fighters, yes.
Yes, yes, yes. The skills on display were wow. Which, like, Islam showed up, Volk showed up, and they put in one hell of a
And I think
performance, man.
to put my anti Dagestan cap right now, anti Ali Abdelaziz cap right now,
My
Islam,
God.
now you will see Benil Dariush. Benil Dariush will beat the crap out of this fighter, man. अगर यही इस्लाम हमें देखने को मिला तो बेनिल डारियुश के पास जो पावर है, जो रेसलिंग डिफेंस उनके पास है, आई बिलीव दिस कैन बी वन ऑफ द लेकिन बेनिल डारिउश आई थिंक उनकी फाइट होने वाली है अगेंस्ट चार्ल्स ओलिवेरा. लेट्स सी
Yeah,
क्या होता है उस फाइट में, एंड होपफुली बाय द एंड ऑफ अगस्त सितंबर हमें एक दोबारा से ये फाइट देखने को मिलेगी.
yeah, yeah. We'll be seeing soon. We'll see a number one contender in lightweight soon, and I believe Benil Dariush has a very very good chance to be that number one contender. So does Charles, and I hope if Charles and Islam fight again, you know, he's gonna come up with a better game plan and not to get too bloody overwhelmed by the situation or the place, and he'll come well prepared, man. Like
आई
last
थिंक
time, I feel like he
द
wasn't
बेस्ट
that well
थिंग जो
prepared.
मुझे वोल्कानोव्स्की के गेम में लगी वो थी उनका क्लिंच गेम. कोई
Mm,
क्लिंचिंग बिल्कुल करी ही नहीं वोल्कानोव्स्की ने. दैट्स
I
द
know
बेस्ट गेम
he,
प्लान दैट यू कैन हैव.
yeah, yeah, because that guy used to be a rugby player. So imagine the upper body strength. That no wonder, man. No wonder that guy knows how to clinch and like Islam was not getting the better of him in the clinch. Yeah, sure, he landed some knees and all, but so did Volk. Uh, And as for as he's one, I feel like Volk has now laid out you know, the blueprint on how to beat Islam. Of course, everybody is not Volk, but he showed okay, fine. This is how you can beat that kind of wrestling. And I think many fighters are gonna flock to Bangtao Muay Thai gym in Thailand to learn from to the Hickman brothers on how to fight these Dagestani boys, man.
But game plan, superb. Volkanovski, shout out to you. Still,
Mm,
my and 99% of the guys will be with me when I say number one pound for pound fighter, Alex
in the world.
Volkanovski, Alexander the Great Volkanovski. That's a wrap from both of us. Thank you, Donny, for this host.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes.
Alexander Volkanovski. Thank you. ठीक है, Islam
Islam
Makhachev. Thank
Makhachev.
you. Thank you for coming here at least. And नया चैंपियन देखने को मिला. जॉश हेमेट,
Yeah.
सॉरी फॉर यू. एंड दैट्स अ रैप फ्रॉम अस. बहुत ही मजा आया इस शो में. एंड
Yes.
we'll see you again with the next
And
show.
I'm just gonna add one more thing. This card is now done. You better be ready for next card. John Jones is back.
John Jones कौन? Who? John Jones who?
The greatest of all time.
I-
Fucking
Is he
heater.
still eligible to fight? Is he still eligible to
Yes,
fight?
of course he is. That's why he's come.
When he when he when
Fucking
he gets his
heater.
when he gets his shit together, we'll see him at the pay-per-view. Until then, it's a wrap from both of us. Take care. Bye.
अरे तू शुभ शुभ बोला कर यार. He's my